Welcome back to Move with Joe. Today we are going to be talking about upper back pain. So that's the area around your scapula, the rhomboids in between the scapula and the spine, and even up into the traps. So a lot of this is due to poor posture, and when we're sitting up in gravity or standing and we tend to lean forward. Now these extensor muscles in the back are engaged, holding us from falling farther forward. So today we're going to do some movement routines that begin to balance out some of the flexor muscles and extensor muscles in the back. So to begin, let's have you lie on your right side. If you need a small pillow, you can grab that. Otherwise, you can just rest your head on the floor. You're going to bring your arms straight out, palms on top of each other. And just to warm up, we'll begin to start to slide our arm in a big arc up towards our head. And you can just feel the ease of this movement. And so you're not lifting your arm, you're just gliding the fingertips along the floor. And as you go farther, you might notice that you need to start using more of your rib cage. And so ideally, we want to begin to integrate this movement through our spine, through our ribs. And so we can continue going back. And you can just have an image of painting a nice big arc along the floor. And each time, just see if you can make it a little smoother. Where do you find the support from your rib cage as you begin to roll across the floor? All right, that's good. So next one we'll do is, again, we'll keep the same position, but we'll bring the top hand behind your head, elbow bent up towards the ceiling. And we'll begin to bring the elbow up overhead and then down to our hip. So we start to introduce a little lateral side bend. Okay. And then we can begin to rotate the elbow down towards the floor. So we're rolling back, finding the support through our rib cage, and just see where you can get to comfortably. Try and keep your knees, your top knee on the bottom one, so you keep them together so that you're not allowing your whole body to rotate. So we're just looking more at the upper thoracic rib cage rotation. And so you're aiming to just gently lengthen through the upper rib cage, trying to bring the elbow down towards the floor. So just wherever's comfortable. So depending on how much time you want to use, you could do anywhere from 10 to 20 reps of this. Both sides, of course. And then for a variation, you could begin to start with your arms straight, bringing the thumb part of your fist towards the ground, and then come back up. And here you can play around with the different vectors. So you could go anywhere from straight back to closer to all the way up overhead. And so as you go in these different fiber directions, you'll stretch different parts of the muscle. So I suggest doing it in a variety of different directions so that you start stretching out different parts, different lines of the obliques and pec and anterior deltoid. All right, give that a break for a moment. And then the next one, you can slide the top hand over top of your head, and you can grab on right above the ear. And then from here, you can begin to lift your head up. So again, we'll introduce a little bit of that side bend movement. And so notice how it is that you find the support to lift your head. Where do you find the contact with your ribs? All right, good. Leave that and rest. And I'll throw in a little movement that you can do with the foam roller. So one of the ones that's great for opening up thoracic extension is laying with the foam roller. You can start at about the top of the scapula. Bring your hands behind your head and slowly begin to extend your head down towards the floor and come back up. And you can just work your way one vertebra at a time down the spine. And so as you're doing this, you can think about lengthening through the front of your abdomen into your sternum. So you're creating this long arc over the foam roller. And it's interesting too, when you keep your elbows in, it's a slightly different stretch. You're starting to get more just pure extension. But as you bring the elbows out, you start introducing some stretch through the pecs. Now as you get lower, there's going to be a point where you want to stop doing the extension from the top end. And if you want to work down into the lumbar spine, you can just start from the pelvis and do the same thing, beginning to drop the hips down and then bring them back up. So it's like you're doing a little mini bridge, and then you slowly lower them back down. And so you can start working one vertebra at a time back up the spine. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed that movement routine. It's meant to be a quick little sequence that you can do at lunch or in between a work meetings, especially a lot of you are working from home right now. And if you take a moment to just notice how things feel, for me, I feel like there's a lot more openness in my chest, my shoulders. I have some more engagement in the extensor muscles in the back. And if I were to come up to standing, I would feel more balanced forward back and less kind of hunched forward, where a lot of us get to after a day of working on a computer. So hopefully this will help you to get through your day in a more comfort. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment in the box below, hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.